Helping children socialize with friends, happy kids. Relaxed parents. Dear parents, many of you with 2 or 3-year-olds have probably witnessed some amusing and even frustrating scenes when your child plays with others. Right? From fighting over toys, not knowing how to take turns, to occasional pushing or shoving, it can be quite a ride. But don't worry too much. This is a very natural stage in your child's development. With a bit of patience and the right guidance from us, children can quickly learn how to play happily and get along well with their friends. So how can we help them? In today's conversation, we'll explore some simple yet effective tips to support our children in developing these important social skills. We'll look into the natural developmental stages of children at this age, the crucial role of parents as role models, how to set appropriate boundaries, and especially how to help children understand and express their own feelings as well as empathize with others. Let's dive in. Key points overview. Before we dive deeper, let's quickly go over the main points. 1. Parents need to understand that children's social skills develop rapidly between the ages of 2 and 3. 2. Children primarily learn through imitation, so parents are their most influential role models. 3. Don't hesitate to step in and guide your child when they need help playing with others. 4. Setting clear rules and boundaries is essential. 5. Regularly talk with your child about emotions to help them understand both themselves and others. The world through a child's eyes. What's happening in their development? So, what exactly are children experiencing at this stage? Let's take a look at their natural development. The good news is that most 2 or 3-year-olds are very excited to meet and be around other kids. However, around age 2, they often engage in what's called parallel play, meaning they might sit next to each other. But each child is doing their own thing rather than truly playing together. Occasionally, they may glance at or mimic each other, but genuine interactive play is still a bit of a stretch. This is why we often see behaviors like grabbing toys, lunging at others, or even hitting. It's simply because, at this stage, the child's world still revolves mostly around themselves. They understand everything from their own perspective and wants. But don't worry, by age 3, things start to change significantly. Social skills begin to flourish. Children start playing in a more organized way, become more aware of their friends' feelings, and begin to grasp basic social rules. The journey from parallel play to cooperative play, sharing toys, waiting turns, avoiding fights, is where parental involvement is key. There's a lot we can do to help, especially when our children play in groups with kids of various ages. Parents as role models, children learn best from us. This is where we step in. One of the most effective ways to teach our children is by setting a good example. Have you noticed how quickly kids pick things up by imitation? That's why the best way to teach sharing, taking turns, and kindness is by demonstrating these behaviors ourselves in daily life. How we interact with others, how we show empathy and understanding, especially with our children, even when we're tired or frustrated, gives them real, powerful lessons in how to treat people. Even how we gently and patiently treat our child becomes a model for how they will treat younger children. Along with setting a good example, we also need to clearly define what behaviors are acceptable and what are not. Be firm in telling your child that hitting, grabbing toys, or taking things without asking is not okay. And when such behaviors happen, don't hesitate to intervene. Timely intervention helps your child learn and prevents the behavior from repeating. Sometimes, simply redirecting their attention to a calmer activity can be very effective. At the same time, emphasize and encourage positive behaviors. Teach your child how to politely ask to share toys, or how to be kind and gentle with younger children. Gradually, they'll understand the kinds of behaviors you want to see from them. Teaching compassion and emotions, the foundation of kindness. But here's the thing. Just teaching, right, and wrong isn't enough. We need to go a bit deeper to help our kids develop true compassion. Instead of merely judging their behavior, encourage your child to talk about why they acted a certain way. Then, help them reflect on their own feelings and the feelings of the friend involved in the situation. For example, if your child grabbed a toy from someone, rather than scolding immediately, you might sit down and ask, "I saw you took the toy from your friend. How were you feeling at that moment?" Or, "How do you think your friend felt when that happened?" This kind of approach encourages your child to think about others' emotions before acting. Use simple, logical reasoning they can understand and apply later on. For example, how would you feel if an older kid grabbed your toy? Or, when you don't let your friend join in? They might feel really sad. These conversations help your child begin to see things from another person's perspective and also learn to name and understand their own emotions. Don't forget to help them recognize complex feelings too. Ask things like, "Are you worried you won't get your toy back if you share it?" Or simply acknowledge how they're feeling. "It seems like you're feeling sad." Or, "You're feeling disappointed, aren't you?" Talking openly about emotions like this lays a solid foundation for building compassion and essential social skills, helping your child form strong, positive relationships as they grow up. In conclusion, as you can see, helping your child learn to play well with others doesn't have to be complicated. It's a journey that requires patience, understanding, and consistent support from us as parents. By setting a good example, gently guiding, creating clear boundaries, and most importantly, helping them connect with their emotions and those of others, we're giving our children a priceless gift: the confidence and ability to build healthy, joyful relationships in the future. Wishing all parents and little ones many fun, meaningful playtime moments together.